Most families don't lose wealth because they didn't earn enough money. They lose it because they didn't protect what they built or pass it on with intention. Here's the hard truth. You can work for decades, you can save, you can invest, you can build a business, or pay off a home, and in one unexpected moment, all of that momentum can stop. Not because of bad decisions, but because there was no plan for transition. I've seen families forced to sell homes. I've seen businesses shut down. I've seen children take on debt their parents worked their entire lives to avoid. Not because there wasn't money, but because there was no access to immediate funds. That's where life insurance quietly changes the entire conversation. Life insurance isn't just about death, it's about control when life is unpredictable. It's about continuity when everything else feels uncertain. And it's about giving the next generation a head start instead of a setback. So let's get started. Before we break this down any further, we need to get clear on what we're really talking about. Today, I want to talk about life insurance and generational wealth, what it really means, why it matters right now, and how families quietly use life insurance to transfer wealth tax efficiently and intentionally without leaving chaos behind. This applies whether you're a parent, grandparent, business owner, or someone who simply wants their hard work to outlive them. Now that we've framed the conversation, let's start with the foundation, what generational wealth really is. Generational wealth is often misunderstood. People think it means trust funds, mansions, or being born rich. In reality, generational wealth is much simpler and much more achievable. It means your children don't have to clean up financial messes. It means they don't have to start from zero. It means your hard work actually lasts. Generational wealth looks like a home that doesn't need to be sold in a crisis, education funded without crushing debt, a family business that survives the founder, time to grieve instead of scrambling to raise cash. And here's the key point most people miss. Wealth is not about what you own. It's about how easily your family can access money when it matters most. That's where life insurance plays a role no other financial tool can fully replace. Once we understand what generational wealth actually means, the next question becomes how families protect it when life changes. Why life insurance plays a unique role. Life insurance creates something every family needs during a crisis. Instant funds. When someone passes away, most assets don't move quickly. Homes take time to sell. Businesses take time to be evaluated for their worth. Investment accounts can be tied up by probate, taxes, or market conditions. But life insurance pays quickly. That speed matters. It allows families to keep the home and not be pressured to sell it, pay final expenses without a GoFundMe page or draining savings, cover estate costs or business obligations, and make thoughtful decisions instead of rush ones. And in most cases, the death benefit is income tax-free to beneficiaries. That combination of speed and tax efficiency is exactly why life insurance is used in nearly every serious estate and wealth transfer strategy. It's not designed to replace wealth, it's designed to protect it during the transition. Let me slow this down and show you what this looks like in real life. What preparation really looks like. I worked with a couple who owned a small family business. Most of their net worth was tied up in their business and home. Their biggest concern wasn't money, it was disruption. They didn't want their children forced to sell the business just to cover taxes, debts, or transition costs if something happened. So we structured a life insurance policy specifically to create immediate funding. Here's the kicker. The husband passed unexpectedly from an auto accident. The policy did exactly what it was designed to do. The business stayed intact. The family had options. And decisions were made from a place of clarity and not panic. That's what generational planning looks like when you take the time to put it in place. Moving forward, let's talk about why this strategy goes beyond end-of-life planning, living benefits, and multi-generational strategy. This conversation isn't only about what happens after you're gone. Certain types of life insurance, when structured properly, build cash value over time. That cash value grows on a tax-advantaged basis and can be accessed during your lifetime. Families use these policies strategically. They access cash value for college tuition instead of student loans, business opportunities without needing a bank's approval, have funds as emergency reserves without cashing out investments or supplemental retirement income. And here's the important part. If the money in the cash value isn't used, it doesn't disappear. It passes on as a death benefit to your beneficiaries. That means one asset can serve two generations. You benefit while you're living. Your family benefits later. That's why life insurance isn't just protection. It's strategy. Before we wrap this up, there's an important reality we need to address. It's something that doesn't get talked about enough, trust in life insurance. In many minority communities, and frankly in many working-class families overall, life insurance and generational planning comes with some skepticism. And I had to think about it. That distrust didn't come from nowhere. For generations, communities of color were often sold insurance the wrong way. Policies were misrepresented. Promises were unclear. Terms weren't explained, and too often people paid for policies they didn't fully understand or never saw the benefit from them. Then, add to the fact that most minorities were subject to financial exclusion, redlining, lacked bank access, predatory lending, and last but not least, the insurance advisors were showed up to sell but not to educate. So when people hear phrases like generational wealth or life insurance strategy, it can feel abstract, unrealistic, or even suspicious. But here's the truth. The concept itself isn't the problem. The problem has been how it was introduced and who benefited from it. When life insurance is positioned as a product instead of a tool, trust breaks down. When it's sold without education, families disengage. And when people don't see themselves as part of the conversation, they tune it out. That's why this conversation has to be different. It's not about hype. It's not about promises. It's about clarity. It's about understanding how money moves during life transitions and choosing the right tools to protect families instead of confusing them. When explained properly, life insurance becomes less about fear and more about options. And options are what builds confidence, especially in communities where options were little to none. With all this being said, generational is about intention and not luck. Life insurance gives families certainty in uncertain moments. It protects what you've built, and it gives your family the freedom to move forward without financial disruption. Now, if this content was helpful, put a thumbs up in the comment section. And please subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Then, share this content with someone who may benefit from this topic. But don't stop here. Check out my next video on your left for more insurance and financial tips. And as I like to say, call Jay today.